clearly, you fucking towel.
Previously on Basement Discourse, we crush on DMs.
That's it.
Yeah, no, that's
It was a
That really
1 hour
sums up an
episode.
hour.
That was
That's
good.
a
That was good. I
episode.
like that one.
All right. Welcome, basement dwellers, to Basement Discourse. I am your host for tonight, Justin. I'm the D&D guy. We have Snack Pack, or Jace, the gamer dude, and we have Brady over there, the anime guy, and we also have a special guest. Kendall, tell us a bit about yourself, my friend.
Well, I am a DM like Justin. I occasionally abuse people online like Jace, and I watch the occasional anime like Brady. So I think I just sit in between. But really, what I think has happened is
We'd
I
love
was
you in
watching.
between.
Yeah, I think what really happened is I was watching your other episodes. I really liked it, but I thought what it really needed was one more white guy.
Get destroyed by guest first time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we just got railed.
Yeah, no, I always get it because I'm like part of a YouTube thing with this viewership, and it's always like, yep, there's the white guy again, telling us what he thinks, and I was like, I deserve this.
Well,
So
at
for some
least-
context, though, Kendall, you're part of Dear
Yeah, can we actually know
Productions.
something about you?
Nah, I'd rather not.
Yeah, for those who don't know who Kendall is, so they're looking at a guy and they're going, so
Yeah.
you're part of Discourse Productions, and your main gig is One for All, yeah?
Technically, I'm not on the books as one of the owners. So Deerstalker Pictures themselves is Elliot and Goldie, who have run the channel over 10 years, and they are amazing. Go like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and stay tuned for more. But they started trying to do more longer form content and they saw me post a picture DMing, and they were like, "We know you, and you're a DM. Come be in our show." And I was like, "All right."
Not for your actor stuff? Just as a DM.
They knew I was an actor beforehand. That's how I met them.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'd been on 2 other of their videos beforehand. So yeah, I'm not part of Deerstalker videos, but One for All is 95% of the content they've released in the last couple of years. So I get associated with them a lot. But yeah, key member of the One for All cast, and yeah, also very, very self-conscious. So someone else speak now.
What, if there's no lines, you can't do it?
Yeah,
Someone get this man a script.
I thought Brady was going to be like giving me prompts for this. I got to improv or something.
Oh,
What the
dude.
hell?
That's pretty much the entire show. We just make sure.
I tell you
things
what,
go
I'll give you
along.
prompts, but I'll give them in Japanese.
Damn it.
This is
Okay,
actually
you
done,
give them
guys.
in Japanese, and then Justin dubs them.
Nice.
I'll write the
Alright.
subtitles.
No,
Yeah.
he'll only dub every second episode because that's how he likes to view things.
That's exactly right. Just sporadic as shit. Just keep it interesting. And the other ones, I'm going to poorly translate them like, "Oh, hiya, buddy. I tell you, Kendall." That's going to be the
Straight up there. There we go.
Congratulations,
White guys
you killed
and
our
anime. Kendall comes on, destroys us all. Right.
I'm a ruiner. It's what I do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming along anyway to ruin our show. We're only 6 episodes in, so it's a great
Call us
place
out
to
for our
end.
whiteness straight away.
I ruined Deerstalker's channel. I'm coming for you guys next.
Yeah,
What's
no,
going on?
that's fair.
Strangely enough, 6 episodes is about how long a season is, so maybe we are at our end. Dun,
Maybe.
dun, dun.
What fucking shows are you watching that are 6 episodes long?
No, Deerstalker.
One for all.
He's
Wow.
been watching One for All.
Sorry, I'm actually
Yeah.
a fan, so I don't know.
Oh,
I was
There
gonna
we
say, you're
go.
quite the hardcore fan if you've memorized the fucking season length.
Dude, they're all 6, so it's not that hard. There's 3 seasons,
6?
and they're all 6
Well,
episodes long. So...
Three seasons and 2 specials.
Yeah, and 2 specials. Yeah.
Me personally, I watch them as they come out, so I don't really
Same.
pay attention to how many
I
episodes.
didn't realize there was even seasons, if I'm honest. I just watch them, get excited whenever I see a post from a good friend. Sorry, Justin.
Wow.
Yeah. Thrown under the bus.
I'm a real fan because I didn't know Kendall. So
Thanks.
there
Thanks.
you go. Real fan
Good
right
to
here.
see the DMs are looking out for each other.
Exactly, yeah. And plus, I haven't really been into D&D for that long, only about 2.5 years. So shit just started popping up recently on Facebook. And that's actually how I found One for All. I didn't know Kendall was in it at all to start with.
You didn't even know who I was.
Completely coincidental. So,
Yeah.
And then you guys are like, yeah, Kendall's in that. I'm like, wait, I know that guy, sort of.
Yeah, by extension.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
So, it's really strange coincidence.
You dropped a bit of a bomb for me there, considering your entire background and purpose of the show. You say you haven't been into D&D very long?
When not in the grand scheme of things, I'm 33 years of age and I've probably been maybe 3 years in the hobby. So, yeah.
Oh, damn.
He had a full head of hair before he started D&D.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like
if I pull a strand out
One
for every
Punch
player,
Man.
it
It's
pisses me off.
Saitama. He's
Saitama,
Saitama
yeah.
from One Punch Man. He had a training schedule. It involved 3D printing, reading storylines and lore every day, using no air conditioner.
Oh man,
handbooks.
I fucking need an air conditioner right now. Wearing this jersey was a terrible idea. It doesn't breathe.
Should be in the
It's like I'm
Highlands. It's cold as shit.
Glad wrap.
So it seems everyone except Justin got the black t-shirt memo.
We don't
Well, I
give
was trying to
Justin
add as
memos.
much pink.
Yeah.
Do I have black? Yeah, I got a black t-shirt, yeah.
That's not black.
That's great.
It's actually charcoal, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a D&D shirt. I'm sorry. Apologies. Shit. Anyway,
Should we
we're
actually
probably like, I don't know, 20 minutes in now, and we've just done
Wanna do like a show?
introductions,
Yeah.
So,
should we
I was gonna
actually
throw it over to
discuss?
Jace.
You're gonna like edit it down at some point.
No editing.
Never.
We
Okay.
just
I'm not
improv and
allowed
talk
anymore after the Christmas one.
We're doing what? Yep.
shit. Yeah. So should we actually tell people what One for All is or is about? Because
Yeah,
we
we
just
didn't do
mentioned.
that.
we
I never
kinda-
said the title, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, One for All is...
Wait. I want to go through the three of us, except
Wait,
for you,
we'll find
Justin,
out.
because I know you're too polite for this. Doing a badly described.
Badly. I can't describe things badly. Not on the
Yes, you
spot
can.
anyway.
No, you have a crack. Kendall, badly describe One for All.
It's like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but with Dungeons and Dragons.
That's
That's
not
actually-
that bad.
that's
in
pretty
fairness.
good.
That's like a really good description. Wow.
Definitely not the logline we use.
Oh, he cheated.
See, the man's
That's
got a
why it
fucking
was so
script.
good.
Yeah, he's got a script.
He's got an
Ruined.
improv script ready for anything random that we ask him. He's like,
I
right,
have
where is
no
that
idea
question?
what you're talking to.
Man's out here reading script pages, about to fucking give away NDA secrets.
Damn it, I don't have my flag. Alright. Okay, anyway, yeah, that's my description.
What do you got, Jace?
I don't fucking have anything. I can't think of anything on the
You
spot.
don't want to play?
All I've got's insults. And
Yeah,
all I can
that's-
say is that there's a shit guy in it. And it's Kendall.
Oh. I was going to say it's fantasy cross-dressing with dice.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only cross-dressed on it like twice.
He did the first episode about 4 minutes in.
Yeah. Most popular, probably one of the most popular of my characters. Don't know why.
No, I was a big fan of you getting seduced by Andreas. That was a big moment.
That was hilarious.
Woo!
That was. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm didn't like that episode very much for reasons which we cannot go into, but it still managed to get a decent view count regardless.
What's with you and the social justice on our channel? Like, you've already called us out for being white. Now you're calling out YouTube for not being supportive of homosexuality.
It's who I didn't say that. You said that. It might be what I was thinking, but you said it.
It was probably more the interspecies erotica.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
True,
Demons
true.
and people can't be done.
No.
Yeah, I'm a Sydney actor, man. I've got to be like a social justice warrior. It's part of the contract.
Yeah.
From Sydney, not Melbourne.
Yeah. No, actors in Sydney, you know.
Do you want to
Yeah.
give us a good description, Justin? Because you look like you just need this to move on.
I mean, we haven't really got past the hellos, so yeah, sure. So one for all, it's very short videos, 5 to 6 minutes sort of length, so very easy to digest. And they are describing annoying scenarios that actually happen in D&D. In my eyes, that's kind of what happens. Every episode is just describing another very annoying sort of moment in D&D. So, breaking down clerics, breaking down all sorts of different things in each episode. And then the guys are playing it at the table and at the same time playing it in a cosplay fantasy realm. So, which is fantastic. So I think that probably almost describes it somewhat.
That's much better than I ever have.
Is it bad that I use One for All as inspiration for how I play?
That's terrible. Yeah,
that's a bad idea. That's why you're such a shit
didn't
player.
because we are somehow more violent than the murder hobo episode in our Christmas special.
You guys saw that episode and were like, okay, so that's the bar. We need to.
Yeah,
We saw
absolutely.
that
We need
more
to step it up.
Let's set that at level 1 and let's find 10.
Now let's suck all this goo out of a dragon.
Yeah, perfect. The general
there wasn't
idea of
enough
the
nudity in your murdering.
True.
fair.
Algorithm.
No,
doesn't like it.
I know. Yeah, that's
There's
coming
plenty
to
of
only. It's coming to OnlyFans a bit later.
Yes, I'd sub to that.
The Patreon only thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be ready for it. Only if you do every character.
So it is now actually properly after Christmas. So how was everyone's Christmas?
Yeah, because we made fun of it.
Because I've been asking this for about 2 episodes, but we weren't recording.
Yeah, because we record ahead of time, Kendall, obviously.
Yeah.
And they tried to make me play along for an episode that was getting released after Christmas, being like, how was your Christmas? I was like, I'm not doing this. Yeah.
Yes,
So it
yes,
is
and
officially
Brady.
after
Yes, and.
Christmas.
Mine was good. I got a adorable Nezuko.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. What about you guys?
It was
Jace?
good. I didn't have to socialize with people very much, so that was great.
I
And
feel like Kendall might be in the same boat.
well, he
Oh, yeah.
couldn't. I chose.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
I mean, I got COVID for Christmas. That was my present.
Jesus.
Merry Christmas from Dom Perrottet.
Yeah.
And you just blew the algorithm right through the floor for us. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
No, through
Yeah.
the roof. People are Googling COVID, mate. We're on the
Yeah.
up and up now.
We're trending
No, but-
now. We got
Oh, yeah.
Kendall and COVID in one episode.
Trying to send it via some form of computer virus to all of you.
Great.
But yeah, I've been in isolation since 5 days ago. So
What was that?
that's
Was
been my
that-
Christmas.
It was
Shit
before
time, man.
Christmas, yeah.
Shit time.
What about
Yeah.
you, Justin? Let's move
Yeah,
on to a
but good.
cheery topic.
Christmas was great. Cooked lots of food. That was it. The end.
Well, wonderful. I think our
got
fake
Far Cry.
stories were better.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? I got Far Cry 6, so I'm having a crack at that. I would actually really enjoy it. So I think people
Nice.
put a lot of shit on it. I don't know. I think it's quite fun so far. Can't
I don't
fault
know,
it.
it didn't look too bad. It didn't look like it would be as good as Far Cry 5 because Far Cry 5 was brilliant.
I think it was a great concept, but I don't know if they did it as well as I'd hoped for Far Cry 5. Because of the restrictive, we can't go too far with this because, how far can we go with cults?
Yeah, so
Um,
being able to go around and violently assault religious zealots, that's my game
True.
right there.
Mm.
And I wasn't big on Far Cry 4. Far Cry 3 was pretty sweet. So Far Cry 5 was a perfect next step.
Yeah.
6 doesn't look like it's quite as good, but it doesn't look like it's bad by any measure.
It already is immediately getting old that they keep saying guerrillas a lot because you're a guerrilla in a guerrilla warfare setting, and they're just constantly either calling you a guerrilla to your face or calling you a visitor to the island or something or a tourist. It's just one way or another. You're constantly trying to prove yourself that you're a guerrilla the whole time. It's man, you've done more than any of you fuckers have done from the start.
The religious zealots part, as far as games go, just makes me think of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, I haven't played Valhalla.
Oh man. So
Oh,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
mini boss type dudes who are in random areas of the map and you got to go find them. But they were literally called zealots.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes
Yeah,
sense.
you just
Similar
can
to
track them
the
down
Origins sort of thing where you had to find those guys, the contractor
Yeah.
guys.
and they
Yeah.
were challenging, but also they had very predictable patterns that repeated.
Yeah.
So it was really fun because
It
they'd
was
like throw
"Here's
shit
this
at you.
clue." And you're like,
Yeah,
cool, I'll just disregard that and like go and punch him.
Yeah, once you got the like throw the thing back, the worst they could do was throw a spear at you, and there was a skill you could get to pick it up and throw it back. It got a
Throwing
lot
spears.
easier.
It just sounds like retro boss fights, you know, where you just
much.
figure out the pattern to the boss and then keep going.
Yeah, that's it. Just wash, rinse, repeat.
That's pretty much what happened in that game.
So I played Valhalla for a while, but then I jumped straight into Ghost of Tsushima and was just like, fuck Valhalla.
Oh,
Like, why? Why even bother when Ghost of Tsushima is there and it's just so
Ghost of
beautiful?
Tsushima astounds me that it's not been done by Assassin's Creed, and I'm sure they're going to be pissed off they didn't.
Yeah, if they had the opportunity to, then they just dropped the ball. Like when Will Smith didn't do The Matrix and did Wild Wild West instead. You fucking idiot.
Wait, Will Smith was supposed to be in The Matrix?
He was supposed to be Neo, dude.
No.
Right? Can you imagine Will Smith? Like, it wouldn't have suited him, but he gave that up for Wild Wild West.
To be fair, his family still made money off the series.
Yeah.
His wife
His wife's
is
in it.
Nobi.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But probably not as much as what Will might have made.
Yeah.
Especially if he like
Oh, definitely not.
did
Definitely not.
the
Yeah.
soundtrack. You imagine like the Matrix soundtrack with Will Smith.
Yeah, instead of Rage Against the Machine at the end of everything.
It's like a Will Smith rap. Yeah. About
Well,
computers and
This
AI.
is a story all about how I jumped into the future and then got my life flipped upside down. Fucking idiot.
And I'd like to bring you to the next thing that white people can't do, and that's rap.
That is rap. Correct.
Oh,
Like I wasn't
wow.
trying because you should see me when I try. It's worse.
No, we shouldn't.
No, really don't.
I don't know that we should.
So
Maybe not record it, but we should see it.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Everyone-
no. I will definitely be hitting record.
Yeah.
It'll be an OVA episode.
It'll be the thing at the start of the episode for sure. Again.
Yeah, or like the credits song at the end of the episode. We'll put credits in just so we got that song going.
The
Flawless.
credits is just going to be us three, and then thanks, Kendall. This is the last show we ever did.
So,
I came to
yeah,
ruin.
I was going to jump to you, Jace. Anyway, total sidetrack there. Jace, you had something you wanted to hit
Yes.
us up with.
I have a hot take that's relevant.
Oh, big
because-
surprise.
Hey, it's been a whole episode, buddy. Anyway, I have a hot take. It's been a while, but I've been playing some older games. I have been playing The Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Dude, I saw you on there today. I was like, fuck, Elder Scrolls.
We're all familiar with the game, correct?
I would assume everyone is.
It's better than Skyrim.
It's not a hot take. It's a pretty big
It's a big, strong
following.
opinion.
I disagree with them, but it's a pretty big following, and it's not new for me to disagree with you. No, scroll around the internet, you'll find a fuckload of people who think Oblivion is way better than Skyrim.
How so? Like, why is it better? Like, what makes it better than Skyrim?
Okay, so firstly, they're both on the same graphics engine, so the slight upgrade on Skyrim's visuals, I don't really count as anything.
Who's
but
playing
it-
Skyrim for the visuals?
Lots of people.
Oh, for its time, it was good. Now, not so much, but for its
Yeah.
time, it was amazing.
HD remaster. Good. The four that followed after it.
Now I've got it on my fridge.
There was only 4. But yeah, so visuals I sort of put roughly on par. They're not too different. But I quite like the setting of the traditional high fantasy appearance of is it Cyrodiil? Or is it Tamriel that's technically the continent? Whatever.
I think it's Cyrodiil is where it's set, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say.
I can never remember if it's Tamriel's supposed to be the continent or Cyrodiil because they mention both all the time. Anyway,
Hot take from someone who doesn't know the law.
Yeah. Plus, law sucks ass. So
dude, I read because you know how when you read books in the game, you actually
You mean
can
when you
like go
open
through
it
the
and you just
pages.
flip
Yeah,
through
yeah.
the pages really quickly to get a skill.
I
Yeah.
found one that was 88 pages long. Who the fuck is writing an 88-page book that 99.9% of people are just going to hit next until they might get a skill? And I didn't get a skill either. I got
That's
Because
robbed.
we
rude.
have
Rude.
extra people in this episode, I decided to be a person in a chair. World setting. Oblivion is set in Cyrodiil on the continent of Tamriel. So I think
Ah.
There we
Cyrodiil
go.
might be the like
Country
realm.
within, yeah. Okay, cool.
There you go.
So yeah, I think that more traditional, like Euro style high fantasy, I really like that idea rather than the Nordic style, but that's just a preference thing. But I think the music is better in Oblivion. I think it's just
Ooh.
a much more fitting thing.
I don't
I
know.
think-
Skyrim's soundtrack was pretty fucking boss.
The
Mm.
story, I think, is
Skipping over.
yeah, no, I'm ignoring you. Your opinions don't matter. But but yeah, so where was I going? Story, I think, in parts is better. Like I really didn't like the whole dragons concept, like how it wrapped up later in the story arc was quite cool. But the whole Dragonborn and the Return of the Dragons, I thought it was kind of average, and it really led to forcing people to play a particular style, and that was ranged. Everyone's a fucking archer, and if you're not, you use some sort of ranged magic.
Well, yeah, the dragons are in the sky a lot of the time. You got to do something.
Exactly.
Yeah, hang
Yeah.
on. No, I did
That
not
does sort
do
of
that.
force you to do that a little bit. Would you do?
I,
Hide behind a rock until they flew down and landed?
No, I just waited till I got the like force them to land shout.
But
And
dragon rend.
yeah. And then I just, went at them with a two-handed sword.
So I only recently ever completed the actual story of Skyrim because I did the normal thing where you just get sidetracked and do nothing.
Yep.
I didn't realize how many shouts there were because I only had
Fucking
3.
heaps.
I had 3 at like 130 hours into the game because
Yeah.
I just never bothered.
No, I totally get that. That was my first run too.
It's fair enough, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You get on a tangent. You get on one quest, and you're like, "Oh, but what's that? What's that?
Yeah.
What's that tunnel
No,
right there?"
I think the
Go down
fun thing
there.
about Skyrim, and maybe this is why we like Oblivion more, the rest of the world is far better than the story.
yeah, but in some ways you
That's
could
a
say the
pretty
same
good way of
about.
saying it, because Oblivion doesn't feel that way. It does feel like Oblivion. It feels like there's nothing in a lot of areas. Whereas Skyrim, you can run into an encounter in pretty much most places, and some of them are actually kind of fleshed out. So it's not
I
just
did
a
like
little fight.
the monstrous amount of customization you could do in Skyrim. Like you could play some pretty wild ways. I had an army at one stage because I had like different shouts, different in what was the magic for summoning shit?
Conjuration.
Conjuration.
Conjure. Yeah. And then I just made friends and had like 5 people, 2 dragons because one's a shout and one's a spell.
Yeah.
So like,
Damn.
I just walk into shit and be like, nah, I'll
Yeah.
stay over here. All of
Picture
you.
you in reality just going, "Ah! and then just a bunch of things coming out from all over the place.
Did you see me in D&D? That's how I game too.
Exactly you. No, squad.
Yeah. I think I got into Oblivion pretty late. Like I got the Game of the Year edition, so like it had already been out for a while.
Yeah.
So Skyrim was the first one I was there for on release, and
Yep.
I definitely prefer it to the 2. I wonder if I was an Elder Scrolls, like if I was one of the people who got into it, like even with like Morrowind when that came out and played it through. I wonder if my opinion would be different.
I
agree with you. The main story for Oblivion's definitely more epic on scale, and like
Yeah.
the shutting the
gates to
gates
Oblivion.
to hell, or
Yeah.
Oblivion, hell, whatever it is. There's more demons, which I always like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just based on hours logged and fandom absorbed, yeah, I'm probably in the Skyrim camp.
That's fair enough. And like I don't think
Yep.
Skyrim's a bad game, but just playing through Oblivion lately, I think it's like the story as far as like it's basically Doom but high fantasy RPG, right? Hell's coming to Earth. How fucking cool is
Okay.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It's cool.
And
it's a
also-
little, it's a little
also-
overworked as far as like a DM's eyes go. Like that's like always my go-to if I don't have anything. Oh shit, portals are opening up to hell. So I feel like it's a little bit overused, but maybe that's just my head. But Jace, Morrowind, you started there, right?
So not technically. So I started with Oblivion, then went back to
Back to
Morrowind.
Morrowind. Okay.
And I
just feel
do
like
have
you've
some things
delved
about
in
Morrowind.
those areas a little bit more, as Kendall was saying. Like as someone who also just jumped into Game of the Year edition with Oblivion, enjoyed the shit out of it, of course, and then jumped into Skyrim from day one. I think we've just had like more of Skyrim over the years, and plus it's been released on like
Well,
everything.
there's six editions of it now.
That's
So, yeah.
ridiculous.
It's insane.
Well,
But
there you're at.
I think Morrowind needs a full like remaster.
Dude, that'd be
If
sick.
that was the case, it would be my favorite purely based on setting.
Mhm.
Now, if any of you haven't played Morrowind, pick it up and even just play it for like the first 20 minutes. Once you get released off like the boat thing at the start exploring. The atmosphere and setting of Morrowind is absolutely amazing.
Agree.
Like
could
the
be- that
trees
could
are like
replace
giant
6.
mushrooms and shit.
Yeah.
There's these things
Those-
called striders that walk around on big giant legs.
Yeah. I mean, there was a little bit of it in one of the expansions for Skyrim, wasn't there?
Was
I
there?
feel like there was.
Like
There's a-
like
I
one
think
very
there's a
small
whole-
area. It's like an island or
I'm pretty sure there's an entire Morrowind expansion for Skyrim.
or
Yeah,
or am
think
I
know what you're
thinking
talking
of
about.
that, or I'm thinking of Elder Scrolls Online? Sorry, my brain's
I
connecting
think
dots.
Elder
yeah.
Scrolls Online has a Morrowind expansion.
Mm.
Um,
I wouldn't
We're
even
all
be
I,
good.
sad
I,
if they
I
both
swear
released
it was Skyrim though. I swear there's like one expansion you go to. It's not Dawnguard, the other very famous one.
Yeah, I got a feeling you're
Beyond
right. It's about like level
Skyrim?
32 onwards or something like that. I don't know why I have that number stuck. in my
Yeah,
head.
no idea.
But no.
yeah, no idea.
But while we're on
Same.
the story topics and we're in the Elder Scrolls realm, what are our hope levels for the next? Because that teaser trailer, which is just a fucking like overshot like of a mountain and then clouds.
Yeah,
is
it
the
could have been
one-
stolen from a Lord of the Rings movie.
yeah, it truly
it
means
could have
they
been
Jack.
any drone shot that any wanker on YouTube has ever done.
Yeah, every New Zealander's drone shot.
I wasn't gonna follow my comment with that one, but okay. Fuck. But what's the hopes? What are we thinking?
Nah, I don't think it's going to come out anytime soon. I reckon 2023.
No, not about expectations. It'll be
Expectations.
good.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be
Yeah.
really, really good. Yeah.
Do you think you
I
can
think
measure
they're
up to
gonna iron it
6
out.
editions of Skyrim?
I think they're learning. They're waiting. They're watching.
They're priming all 6 editions to release gradually.
I'm gonna err on the side of hope. Like they did, like Morrowind, Oblivion, and then Skyrim in a row. Each individually very good games for their time, for what they were. I know there's a lot of slack we're giving to Skyrim and its constant re-releases this year. It could be, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with that company, if it's seen as something they have to do or whatever. I don't know much about it, but yeah, I'm going to hold out hope. I mean, I was very keen for it 2 years ago, so now I'm just not thinking about it that
Yeah,
much.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Like
Yeah,
2 years
it's
ago,
on
I
the
was
back
like on
burner.
every update, I was just like, I want it. Is it going to be in Hammerfell? Is it going to be this? Like, who's it's starting in jail, right? Now I'm like, okay, just push it to the back of the mind. Our trust,
when it's
it's part
closer.
of Elder Scrolls. They've been consistent with quality. Yeah. Sorry if that's
No, that's
a cheesy take, but yeah.
No, I
What's
think it
your
makes
thoughts,
sense.
Brady? Because I think I might be a little different to you guys.
I actually have a question for you on that. Because we're talking about the amount of releases, and you're the digital IT knowledge guy. Is that basically is the the format Skyrim's in just lends itself perfectly to becoming this multi-platform thing?
Not necessarily. Like,
Because
it's
it
not
seems to have done
hard.
it more than other things.
So the thing is, they basically want to expand their brand, as far as I gather, right? So when Oblivion came out, people sort of knew about the Elder Scrolls, but most people, unless you were into high fantasy RPGs, nobody really knew that much. Skyrim came out, it was super popular, but now they're like, okay, well, how can we get this to more people who they might not have an Xbox, they might not have a PlayStation, they might not have a high-end PC. So then, you start bringing it to Switch.
But
then
the Switch was a surprise to me, right? Because, like, yes, people like Skyrim. Yes, some people may want to play it portable. I don't know who. But that to me was a shock in the marketing side of things. For Nintendo, like, they usually play themselves off as the fun one, and then they were like, here's this dark fantasy RPG.
Not necessarily. Like, Nintendo have a strange history the more you look into it. Like, don't forget that what was it called? It's called like Mad something on Nintendo Wii. And it was like a black and gray graphic novel style game where you play as a guy with a chainsaw just cutting people in half.
Damn.
It was
How
a
did that
fucking
get
cool
clear?
game. Yeah, I don't know, but it was
On
a
the Wii?
Nintendo... Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I
wild.
want to play it.
So you actually just like physically like
Yeah.
Damn.
wild.
I mean, I want it.
I
Yeah,
want it now as well.
I want to have a go now.
Yeah.
Mad World.
I have a Switch.
Yeah.
I want to play.
That's cool.
So yeah, Mad World on Nintendo Wii was super violent game. Anyway, so it's not too out of character for them to do that.
Okay. So what I did interrupt the line. What's your expectations? Mine are high, but I'm a cynical person by nature, and I don't think they can live up to Skyrim's hype.
So, my expectations are nothing, absolutely nothing, because I know if I expect too much, I'm going to be super disappointed, and B, I am a huge Fallout nerd, and I've seen what Bethesda has done to Fallout games.
This is true. 76 was a nightmare. Cool idea. Great idea. It could have been awesome. It was not.
Yeah, interesting concept.
Yeah.
And I hear that it's in a great place now, but
Too little, too late, man. It's like
Yeah,
Destiny 1 with all of its issues online and stuff like that. Too little, too fucking late. For most
absolutely.
of
So,
us.
and then Fallout 4, I recently went back and started playing through that, and I really don't enjoy like anything outside of just raw combat and the normal RPG grind. Everything else I think is average. And I think their gift of storytelling is abysmal, because Fallout 4 was basically the reverse of Fallout 3's story. Instead of looking for your dad for the whole game, you're looking for your son for the whole game. Lame.
I was looking for copper wire the whole game. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, man. So one of the things that I did notice with Fallout 4, right, is that they seem to adhere to the concept of what's like trending in gaming and that. When Fallout 4 came out, big game at the time was like procedurally generated games that are like crafting focused, like Minecraft, Subnautica, stuff like that. So they got real big on the crafting and let's build a base and let's have characters annoy the living shit out of you all fucking game. And so I worry that they'll put a lot of that sort of stuff in Elder Scrolls 6. But in saying that as well, Elder Scrolls is actually their baby. Because if you know the history of Fallout, they bought the rights for 3.
And to be fair, they're more interactive with what the fans want than other companies. Like they left glitches in because people enjoyed them. That's not as common amongst the gaming companies as we would like in some ways, especially in a giant RPG like Skyrim. They literally were like, "Yep, we know you can do that, but you're having fun."
Yeah, and so like
That's so.
I'm sort of on the fence. It's like it's either it's a project of love, which could explain why it's taken so long, and that's totally okay. I'm all for that, because if it is, then it comes out in an amazing state. But I'm skeptical, so I'm sort of on the fence. Have no expectations, can't be disappointed, right?
I think the reason why we have this skepticism is because Skyrim has been released so many times. You're just holding out for the next thing, and you're like, it's not coming. Is there something wrong? Or
yeah. Also, gaming companies have a bad record with expectations.
Yeah. They build hype, they fail. Yeah. Well, Cyberpunk's the perfect example because Cyberpunk had so much hype because it was announced right off the back of The Witcher 3, which everyone seems to love.
Yeah.
And then
that's because it's great.
It wasn't
because it's great. Yeah. Say seems to love like you don't, and it's that's just
I was like,
is there another hot take coming? Yeah.
That can be reserved for another episode.
No, hold on. This one can be covered quite quickly. I actually uninstalled The Witcher 3 today. I've never finished it. I thoroughly enjoy the actual story of it and stuff like that, but I find the combat and the level scaling absolutely infuriating.
It's completely fair.
I do not enjoy it at all. And even setting the difficulty to just the story, I don't find it enjoyable enough to continue playing. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's not for me kind of game.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
And that's where I sit with it. I know they put a lot of work into it and it is really well done. It's not mine.
The soundtrack's awesome though.
Yes, it is.
So and that was actually going to bring me on to our next topic, but I think before we do, maybe we have a short break. Hear an ad from one of our sponsors.
Sick of your life? Want to make a change? Restat. I was the nerdiest guy in school. Then I used Restat. And now I got a 16 in charisma. Hey, ladies. I was always being made fun of while at work. They called me weak and puny boy. Well, thanks to Restat, I got a +5 in strength. I broke my boss's arms today. Restat. Live your best life now. Restat will not be held accountable for any permanent injuries or major life-altering altercations due to alterations of the mind and body.
All right, we're back. Thank you for all the sponsorship from our sponsors. So much money.
What a sentence.
Money. Yep.
This advertisement break is brought to you by actual sponsors.
It's still not, though.
It might be by the time this comes out. That's fine.
If we buy our own shit, then we're our own sponsors. Like I sponsored myself my camera, so there you go.
Basement Discourse is brought to you by Basement Discourse.
That's what we should do. Ultimate Put the YouTube trailer in the middle of the fucking episode. That's
how you make it. That's how you make it. I knew it. I knew there was a way. Just before we went to the ad break, I mentioned music, and this is something that I really enjoy in my setting, but I'm not too sure if it's something that you guys even think or do in your settings. So obviously music is a big part of, well, it is for me personally in my life, but also in D&D world as well. Like if I'm playing a session, there's always music in the background. I'm pretty sure, Kendall, I feel like you'd be the same unless you're recording or whatever, like, you know.
Yeah, if it's streams, you have to be careful that either you have the rights to it or it's just no copyright on it, like free to use. But if you're playing at home, me and I think every DM I've played with has liked having music on in the background. It just sets the scene and gets everyone in the mood.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It kind of just builds that that immersion sort of around you. And for me, I think it's a lot of soundtrack stuff from video games. Witcher 3 was quite a lot of it as well. some of the Elder Scrolls games as well. Strangely, all these things that we've already brought up on this episode, which is kind of why it reminded me of it. And a whole lot of like different style settings. So I have like a Spotify list of different playlists, so different settings. So if they go into a town, they've got like a town D&D music. They go out into the forest, they've got the forest style music. They go into the sands, they've got like the deserty sort of Viking-esque sort of Nordic.
But soundtracks
sounds,
like all the
know?
way back to 8-bit games have been iconic for, if they're done well,
Yeah.
they will live in your memory. I mean, think of like the silliest example, and of course this is coming from the fucking anime guy, but think of like Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Like Red and Blue, you know every town by song.
Yep.
I'd like to agree. I was not allowed to play Pokemon when I was young.
I'm sorry for your
Damn.
childhood.
Dragon Ball Z was fine, but Pokemon was banned in my house.
What the
Violence, yes.
Capturing
Animation.
animals.
Yeah.
There was my school sent a newsletter home at some point claiming there was like dangers with gambling or something, and my parents took it seriously.
Maybe because of,
Yeah.
I can't even remember what city it is, but
Yeah,
there is the
yeah.
one city where you can gamble.
Yes, I recall.
Not even in games. It's
Yeah.
just because when Pokemon cards were a thing.
Oh, that's even
And-
lamer.
Yeah,
They removed that in the remakes, by the way. In
Gambling.
the Let's Go ones on Switch, you can't do gambling.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like, I don't know the Pokemon one, but I did go back and play some of the really old Final Fantasies, like
yeah.
redone, and them. Like a lot of people think they were one of the first games of that era to actually have specific soundtracks for each new area. Especially like the first Final Fantasy. Although Chrono Trigger was around the same time, so that's probably a crap take. But yeah, it's like I can think of some of those tracks off the top of my head now, and they're just in 8-bit MIDI form, and it's like that's
for
how I
sure.
know where I was.
Soundtracks, like, you're not wrong, Justin. They definitely set a scene, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dead set. Like, I have certain soundtrack music in my personal Spotify playlist that I listen to, like, on the reg. One game that I absolutely adore the soundtrack to, and I'm betting none of you chumps have ever played it, is Bastion. Because it's an
Chumps.
indie game.
Dude,
so
I think I have
Create,
played that.
never played it. No.
I almost feel like I definitely have played that.
it's sort of like a top-down hack and slash type game.
Yeah.
But it's just got this really weird setting. It's got a narrator that speaks over the top, but the soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. You should pick up the game just to play it and listen to the soundtrack. It's brilliant.
Not to hijack the theme. I mean, we're talking about music, so I think that's fair. But animes live and die off soundtracks pretty easily.
I
mean,
also have a lot of anime music in my Spotify playlist.
My car experience is a weird combination of like metal music and anime openings because they're just so good though. Like, I mean, think of like the
My only
English-
railgun.
Lisa, but it's like LISA. She did the Demon Slayer one as well as a few others. She's like really popular right now for doing anime openings. That's unreal. But I recently watched the Bleach trailer for the return of Bleach, which I'm not going to hijack the show to talk about because you're all just kind of nodding like you know what it is.
Yeah, no.
I never went down the Bleach like some things you go down a hole. I've heard Bleach is like a black hole in space that sucks you in.
Only because for a lot of people who aren't giant anime fans, it's a big investment because it's like 300 something episodes.
Yeah.
So, like, but regardless, like from a theme song point of view, the only reason I brought it up right now is because when I watched the trailer, they had a kind of like a remastered version, slightly tweaked of the soundtrack. And I was watching it, it came up with the word Bleach, and then there's a few special effects. And then that song kicked in. The song that everyone associates with when shit got fucking awesome in the show. And it was just like, I was sitting there being like, And it was fine. It was mostly just still images of what's coming up in the animation, but the song just like brought up all of those feelings of when shit was epic or hype in the show. And yeah, I can with D&D, like I feel like the most ultimate D&D game that can probably never happen would have a DJ relevant, like standing off to the side, right? Like ready to change tracks when shit changes.
Yeah.
High fantasy.
There are applications out for that. Like Sirenscape is like a pretty
Sirenscape's
decent
good.
one. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, which
I do
What does
much
it
do that.
does it hear keywords like roll for initiative?
no,
would be
the
next level.
usually the DM controls it. Like if they've got a computer behind
okay.
their screen.
Yeah.
And that is a good trick as well. Like if the party are getting cocky and not really paying attention, you just stop talking and change the music to something a lot more ominous. And then they're just like,
They're just like, oh shit, wait, what?
wait, what's
Like
happening?
like the Pokemon
Oh, I'm sorry.
battles.
Like when you're walking through Oblivion and all of a sudden the music changes to battle music and you're like, fuck. What the
It's a
fuck is
mud
going
crab.
on here? Yeah, it's always
Mud
the mud
crab.
crab. It is always the
Yeah.
mud crab. You'll be anywhere, it'll be a
like-
mud crab.
Any of the old PS1 games where the soundtrack was like graphically set. So if you took one
yeah.
step, it changed. So like there was a door and there was chests and save points, but when you stepped towards the door, the sound changed. You were like, nope, come back, save 5 times, get all the chests, step towards the door. I'm not ready. I'm gonna go pee. Take a few steps back. Because
Long
that
rest.
music, like you knew shit was about to go down.
I'll tell you what, though, one of the funnest battles in D&D I had was when we were playing the music from Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah,
that's
dude.
a soundtrack.
I have done that
People
also. Yes.
loved it. Yeah, they were just sort of like, is this a scary fight and stuff? So I'm like, you know what? Let's put on the Cuphead music. Like,
It's just whack.
yeah,
They don't know where to go. They're like, what?
whack, whack, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Agreed.
I can't even imagine what that would be like, but it'd have to be amazing because that soundtrack is brilliant.
Yeah.
It was the only thing I wished we could have done in the Christmas one, but obviously because we were filming it and we didn't have a giant library of royalty-free music. But yeah, it was the only thing that I felt like, because we did so many ridiculous things in that fucking one shot. Music could have probably amped it up that slightly bit more, but it's very difficult to do on YouTube.
That is.
Yeah.
Do they have songs for stabbing Santa in the eyes?
No.
I don't know. I'm also not sure if they have songs for naked gnomes and other
There's definitely a
spoilers.
song for that, like Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells.
It definitely exists. There is appropriate music. It doesn't have to have like the lyrical content, but you know, if you're just playing Jingle Bells while Santa's being stabbed in the eye with his own eye, like
I mean, we really only need to get the
It
Cuphead
works.
soundtrack rights and we'll be fine.
So you actually watched the whole damn thing, didn't you?
I watched the whole shorter one. I didn't realize there was a full. I got like part through it, and then you were like, yeah, it's like the short one because there's a 4-hour one as well, and I was like, there's a 4-hour one. I'm like, well, I'm halfway
Yeah,
through this
so
one.
basically-
I'm not starting again.
No, that's fair enough. So the 4-hour one has all of our. It becomes more of a basement discourse episode with the tangents that we go on. Like right now, we were talking about soundtracks, and we've gone to this.
Yep.
But they're slightly more inappropriate throughout the Christmas episode somehow. And also, yeah, the short version is pretty much here's the story, here's what happens, that's it. Whereas the 4-hour one has all of our giggles, laughs, jokes, and a couple rooms where we entered, you'd know as a DM, where there's nothing in the fucking room and nothing actually occurs.
Hold on.
But you've
There's
gotta
there's
have-
something
Maybe-
in each room. There is something in
Maybe-
every room.
Maybe your insight check wasn't high enough. Did you
exactly
investigate the room or did you leave?
We did a monkey ladder down a shaft to discover nothing.
But that was the shaft above the dragon.
Yeah.
It was, but we didn't need to. We couldn't do anything with it.
Well, we
He
could have
definitely
gone
didn't
down.
plan. Poor Justin. So I think poor Justin has been experienced for a while with dealing with different sorts of people, but didn't quite expect like Jace and I and our poor influence on Zach, who tried to keep us on track as best he could. We were like, let's monkey chain down this gross
Body shoot.
like laundry chute.
Laundry chute covered in
Look,
muck.
I think that's that's a really good thing for why you do one shots as well. Like, that's DMs know if you're doing a one shot, silly stuff's gonna happen, and you just go with it. Unless you're very, like, yeah, not to steal, but we did, like, my home group did one with my DM Ibby did like a Christmas themed one. I was playing a Minotaur warlock to Krampus called Heffernoose.
Nice.
And he thought that would be pretty straightforward. And I usually don't derail because I'm nice, but in like, I didn't like some of the cheek some villagers were giving me. Like, we had just kind of saved Christmas for them, and then they were like talking back to me about some stuff. Like, apparently I was mean to a child. So this was like a level 15 one shot. So I, then accidentally got out in a snowball fight, went round the thing, used major invisibility, snuck up behind them, waited till no one was watching, used my 9th level Mystic Arcanum to open a gateway to a demi-plane and push the kid through it, while the dad ran through to go get him back, and then I shut it, and then just went back and took invisibility off. The TM's like, what spell is that? I'm like, it's fine. They're just in a demi-plane until I cast that spell again. Like, when are you going to cast it again? I'm like, after a long rest, assuming I survive.
Oh my god.
And he was just like, we were just like laughing at the table. I'm like, we can't do this in our serial. Like, we have our weekly game where, like, we play weekly. It's been going for 2 years. We're trying to save the world and make sure everyone survives. We've been near to a TPK a couple times. That's when we're all serious and are like, no, we can't go too wild. We need to get through this as a group. Then someone's like, we're doing a one shot, and it's like,
Nobody's home.
okay. All right, now I'm doing some stuff.
That is so brutal and tactical. Like, that's magic. I fucking love it.
And this was before we got into like the 3rd act, and we had to go fight the big boss, and I was out of like most of my abilities because I wanted to send a dad and his kid to a demi-plane for giving me lip in public.
That's completely fair, and I support that wholeheartedly.
Look, I'm just going to say out there, if you're playing in a long-winded campaign that's more serious, don't do that. That's not a...
Yeah, no, that's not...
Don't do stuff like that. But if you're doing a one-shot, like...
Nuts.
Actually, no. I'm gonna even stop there. Set expectations with your group. And I'm sorry this is turning into a thing, but like...
No, go for it, man.
It's like, I've like done a bunch of things now and like played online with a group of different people. It is so easy to just set expectations with your group beforehand. Like, if you're a DM or like a player, just sort of like, this is what I'm expecting. I don't want this level of silliness. I'm okay for a little bit. Or someone's like, oh, this is going to be a meat grinder. This is going to be very battle heavy. Come into it with that in mind. And then every now and then DM's just sort of like, do whatever.
Yeah.
As long as you're not mentally scarring anyone at the table or crossing certain boundaries. Look, screw with it, see what happens. And that's what things like Christmas one-shots are for. It's like, what am I usually not going to be able to do? And for you guys, you hadn't played D&D before, so that was literally everything.
Yeah.
What have I never done before? Roll an attack roll.
Well, did you... Actually, I don't know if it was cut in Brady's cut because I only watched the good one, but I regularly asked Justin which dice to use.
I think I kept it in a little bit, but I didn't keep it in a lot. I mean, I was trying to save time. It's not about the good cut. In fairness, I prefer the 4-hour cut. Let's just be clear here. This is not a director's cut choice. This was we put 4 fucking hours on YouTube, and I actually wanted people to watch it, so I wanted to give them something alternative.
I mean, works for Critical Role. Just...
Yeah.
They had something of a following before they started doing that.
What?
Just
what are you talking about?
A few extra dollars on their budget too, I think. Just maybe.
What are you talking about, Justin? Look at your webcam, man.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
sponsored
beautiful.
by me.
He actually has one now. Yeah. So we're doing
sound.
soundtracks, and we mentioned how in every field, whether it was D&D, gaming, or anime,
As soon as you come
On
back.
a bit of a tangent. We were on soundtracks, and where I was going with it was, do you guys actually listen to music? Like, Jace, do you listen to music while you're gaming, or do you just strictly game because there's music sometimes in the background? Or like, do you use music as a focus or no?
Sort of. So I have a bit of a thing. So games like Overwatch, which is, as we've discussed many times, my most played game ever. I don't typically listen to music because there's some really nuanced stuff with hearing different guns and different footsteps. I can tell who's near me,
How far away they are.
what character they are, just based on where they're shooting and shit like that. So I typically don't. However, if I am in a bad mood, I will just put on music regardless and just fly blind. It typically means that I'm going to have to rely on playing a lot better than a lot smarter. But yeah, sometimes I just zone for that. However, I do like to have music in the background, especially like GTA games. I always make my own soundtrack, but I'm a bit of a loser, and like GTA San Andreas, when I make my radio station for that, no soundtrack, like no song will be released after 1992, so it's all period correct. Same deal with.
When you said you're a bit of a loser, I thought it was going to be like very different. So I had who had an Xbox One, like not the Xbox One labeled one, like the first,
The original Xbox.
classic, yeah.
Yes, I did briefly.
So you could load CDs onto it and then play it for most games. So there was like car racing games. There was also Devil May Cry. You could play whatever, maybe 3. It was one of them. You could play the music you felt like playing on it, and it was outrageous. Like I played some stupid stuff while doing car racing games, and you know.
I remember playing Oblivion one time and then finding a folder within Oblivion because I was trying to patch it or some crap, and I found the folder that was labeled music, and I was like, wait, what? Went in there, and you could literally like just delete all of the music and put your own shit in. So I was like, this is sick.
I think I showed you this because
I feel like you might have.
I changed all the ambient music to Elven King.
Yeah.
And all the battle music to 3 Inches of Blood.
Yeah, dude. And then there was like one Cannibal Corpse song which was just Kill. Which was all battle was, you changed it to that. I thought I did that, but yeah, you were just there to fuck me over. But
yeah,
the problem with it was that like it went from a 20-second song to a 3.5-minute song. So every time anything changed, so you're walking along and there was that fucking mud crab there, it'd be like rendering, go. And then it'd just be like, as Cannibal Corpse comes in, and you're like, fucking, whoa, what the hell, man? Like, looking to the sky, I'm like looking for a dragon or some shit. Well, not in Oblivion, but you know what I mean. Looking around for something. And then there's this goddamn crab like 2Ks that way, and you're like, oh, there it is.
It's the first time I've heard Zoom cut someone off for volume, by the way. Nice. You like started, and halfway through that scream, it was like, nope.
I love it.
Metal's fuck. Nice.
Yeah, metals for Zoom.
Yeah, that's the thing we all have in common, by the way. This is not a completely random meeting of minds. Aside from the gaming, anime, and D&D tabletop stuff, and actor, we also all have an interest in varying degrees of metal.
Nice.
Kendall and I were even in the same band.
And then you tried to start a band with the other people in the band that weren't me and Jace afterwards, Brady.
You say tried, like... so basically... one of them just showed up and was like, hey, you can do that thing. And I was like, yeah, but I know nothing about what I'm doing. And they're like, that's cool, that'll work.
Yeah, that sounds like how I got wrangled into it too.
Yeah. And it was great fun. And I certainly don't look back on it with any level.
I think the end of this conversation is going to be that Basement Discourse, the band, is coming soon.
It depends on what you can do, Justin, because...
we've got 2 vocalists and a bass player right now, so what's...
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to struggle, and Jace and I have very different styles of vocal, which could work really well, but...
I also picture myself a vocalist, but I could...
Acapella?
3 vocals and a bass.
Band. Either a cappella band,
Awesome.
or we could go ska because I can play the trumpet from back in high school days.
Okay, we got a trumpet, bass, and two metal vocalists. This can work.
This could only go up from
Well,
here.
like on one of Napalm Death's recent-ish albums, they did get John Zorn on to play saxophone. So if Napalm Death
also
can have
play
saxophone, oh my god,
We
trumpet
can
and
have two
saxophone.
vocals, a bass, and a saxophone.
Yeah,
Correct.
and look, I can do backing vocals if you need. Just
Yeah,
That's what we really need.
well,
in this
everyone's gonna
situation
do
of-
backing vocals. Yeah.
flawless. And
Yeah.
Kendall, you know from one of the bands we played with, a band can live purely without a guitar player.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, it was for the sake of ruining our ratings on YouTube, Cunt Butcher. We played with them and they only had two bassists. That was it, two bassists and a drum machine.
Well, I don't know if you guys have heard of the band Royal Blood. They're a bit more mainstream than.
Rings a bell.
So they're a UK group. And they're only a two-piece. So they have a bass guitarist and the singer. That's it. So.
Perfect.
Nice.
And
Never
very
heard of that in my
successful
life, and I'm
recently.
so excited to top them with two vocalists, a bassist, and
Four
Justin.
Four vocalists. I know where
Four
fingers are.
vocalists.
Yeah, we'll all sing, and then we'll also play the respective instruments.
I actually own a guitar. I can't play it.
I was going to
But I
say,
own one.
Jace,
You don't need to,
Jace
just
can
hold
play
it.
a bit of guitar, though.
Just hold it. That's all you got to do.
Is that
stand
that
there,
guitar
move the
you-
hands.
Is that guitar you bought that didn't come with batteries in it, or like, or strings attached? Or
No,
something?
that was the
It was
other toy
like-
that didn't come with batteries.
Most of them are rechargeable and silicon these days, but okay.
You know,
I
it's
am
a,
the
it's a rough
batteries.
time. That's right. Kendall has always been my batteries.
Oh, crap.
No,
He
I
powers
bought a
you
guitar.
on good feelings.
And
So-
that's how you know how much power I've got left. You just put a little bit of a tongue towards the just lick the bottom a little bit, see if it gets a zing.
Oh, mate. But no, I bought a guitar because this actually sort of segues into what Kendall and I did after leaving respective bands, because we tried to start another band
That's right. Yeah.
that also failed after
that-
like 2 or 3 practices, I think.
yeah.
And that just went nowhere. And yeah,
Okay.
I've had nothing but bad luck trying to get music projects up. So I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna learn guitar. Then I bought a guitar and I'm like, I don't know how to play guitar. And then so I watched YouTube tutorials and I'm like, this is really not a good way to learn guitar. And because it's COVID, it's really hard to actually get proper guitar lessons. So I just have a guitar.
There
Nice.
it is. Nice. Are you left-handed as well, Jace?
Not for playing instruments, no.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say, because
So what he's saying
picked up a
is the
guitar as
Basement
well, and-
Discourse theme song is coming to you in 2025?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we record it like tonight and we're just done. That's it.
I mean,
One cut and we're done.
I've got my bass here.
Oh,
still.
jeez.
Oh, shit.
That
Yeah.
was so... Just
On
for
cue.
It was
goodness
just
sake,
It was just right there.
that was
yeah.
not cut. He just pulled it out.
On cue,
that?
pulls out the guitar.
It was
Wow.
there.
Which, for the audio listeners to pulled it out is exactly what you think.
We're ready. Let's
Yeah.
go.
We're
All right.
pulling it out.
Okay.
Basement. 5-string bass, by the way.
That's
Kendall.
close.
It is, yeah. Actually, I've had this since the Belima Conda days, which is the band
Wow.
that Jace and I were in. I got it.
There you are.
And you can still find our music on the internet too.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it. It's great.
I still had
Did
a
you ever
CD from you guys a while back.
Beautiful.
Wow. Wait, I never even met you, and you've got a CD for Belima Conda.
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Not only that, he's watched you on YouTube a heap before Jason and I were like, oh, hey, Kendall's going to come on the show. Justin's like, sorry, what? He's listened to you play bass and watched you on YouTube before talking to you now.
To be fair, we mixed him out of most of the recordings anyway.
Fair.
I would have
Did you
too.
just say fair, Justin? You went from like fangirling to fair.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing that you guys do to me, like all the time. So
Yeah,
I get
to be
it.
fair, it's
I get
probably
it.
me that just shits on everyone. So everyone feels like, they're getting insulted all the time, but it's just
That-
me being a dick.
It's that vegan diet, man. It comes out.
Yeah, it makes me angry. I've got so much hatred built up.
Kendall, I haven't decided how we're going to clickbait this episode yet, but it's definitely going to involve you in one way or another. It'll probably be stupidly obvious, like that guy from One for All.
Yeah, we're gonna
but
piggyback on
regardless,
your fame.
We should
and
probably,
celebrity.
yeah.
Can't you just say
100%.
like COVID patient? Like,
I'm gonna put that in the description. I'm doing everything I can. But tell us a little bit more about what you're up to in the future. What's happened? Because you're like 3 seasons in for One for All.
yeah,
And obviously there are reasons you can't talk about everything going
yeah,
forward, but
yeah.
what is your personal desire? You can tell us that.
I mean, I can tell you everything that's not like breaking NDAs. So, yeah, we've released 3 official seasons and 2 special episodes that were working with Wizards of the Coast. One was for a Magic the Gathering video. The others was for the release of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight module for Dungeons and Dragons, which, we were just like, they're wanting us to market this? That makes no sense. But we'll take it. We'll do it. But like,
I saw
okay.
those though, and I thought you guys fucking nailed it. Like,
Yeah,
They were brilliant.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And like,
But,
I was a bit taken aback, I think would be the correct phrasing, because like I see you guys as brilliant content creators, but I sort of always thought of it as like a smaller YouTube creation
Yeah,
thing. And
it's-
then Wizards of the Coast want you, and it's like, that's like the big time. And like,
Yeah.
that's fucking awesome, dude.
But still, like, yeah, but all the money we make, they put into making new episodes, so it sort of stays small. But with a budget to make bigger things now and then. And yes,
That's awesome.
we are filming more. We've had 1 shooting block for what we believe is to be season 4. Actually, it is season 4. I don't know why I had to say it like that. I'm just weird. And then we will be shooting more. So we haven't shot all of season 4 yet. We've shot 1 block of it. We're doing more later. I can't say when that'll be or when it'll be released, but yes. So we have that. We did a Kickstarter to do this, and because we wanted to live up to what we did at season 3, which was funded, and then Screen Australia was like, "Hey, we can fund you again." So
I gotta say, season 3 was
yeah,
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
like
my favorite. Yeah.
talking about my Spotify playlist for the 48th time, Bardic Inspiration is still like one of my most played fucking
Oh,
songs.
dude.
I love that song.
Absolute cracker.
That was so well done. I laughed a lot, and also it made me feel somewhat disheartened by all of our performances in the Christmas episode, because like I wish we had done more role playing, but we'll see how we go as we go forward.
No, don't worry. Like,
That
never
was
compare,
so
but
fucking
that
good. That was amazing.
Yeah, we thought we wanted. Sorry, my COVID brain's like just struggling with vocabulary. Like centerpiece, is that the word? Like a real big thing to put with season 3. It's like, rather than say, okay, we have the funding, so we can do what we've already been doing, but just more comfortably and with money. Instead, it was like, okay, same level of ambition. So stuff that we shouldn't be
love
able
it.
to do, but a bit. So it was aiming high, and it took a big chunk out of the filming schedule. I think every other episode from season 3 was like 1 day per fantasy shoot, whereas the musical was like 3 and a bit, maybe 3.5, and involved stuff we didn't know we'd be able to do, but just kept trying. And to be honest, I didn't hear the song until like a couple days before we went in to record it in the studio. Like,
Damn.
like, just because this was all being planned behind the scenes during the first lockdown, and because I'm not one of the pre-production people, like, I don't need to know that stuff. I was just like, is there a script for me to learn yet? Like, we'll tell you when there is. I'm like, are there characters, are there races? And they're like, give me things I can start getting ideas for voices and stuff. I heard that there was a musical episode, and then it was just sort of like, okay, here's a rough cut of it. We're recording it with your voice in, well, mostly Tom's voice, but me as like 2 of the characters in like 2 days' time, so get used to it. I'm like, huh? Wait, when was this? They're like, oh yeah, we came up with this. We had Jake Nielsen, the lyricist, and Ned McPhee, the guy who did all the music. Ned's also the composer on every single episode and does the sound mix.
That's
like
awesome.
He's an integral part of the team that never gets the credit he so rightly deserves. But yeah, they put that together with the director and the producers and with Tom, because he had to be the centerpiece of singing it. So I was just sitting back, just being like, doo, 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 doo. Hey, lockdown, what's this video game? Or what's this Netflix series? I'm like, anything for me yet? No. And then it's like, damn, learn this song. We're recording it tomorrow. It's like,
Chaos.
To be fair, don't you only feature like very? Do you
I
even-
could have done it that morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
It's
talk
2
about
lines.
the bit with
What?
the fireball.
Yeah.
And then
Why do I hear harmonizing?
Yeah, that bit. and then the tiefling who dies at the end.
Yeah.
I see a light.
Yeah, that stuff. Like, that was it. So giving me a day or more to work with was probably too much. Like, I probably could have rocked up in the studio on the day and they've been like, all right.
And Kendall's boosting his own ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so good. I can get that shit done 1 take daily.
Like I
Come
get
on,
that
I mean,
Tom
I'm
needed
not-
all that practice, but me.
I'm not saying they needed to auto-tune me, but I'm not saying it either. You can come to your own conclusions.
One thing I was going to mention was the locations for all your shoots are amazing. They all like Australia based.
Oh, yeah.
I assume as much, but
Yeah.
They were flying him overseas for a YouTube series in the middle of a global pandemic.
the thing.
Don't put it past them. Don't put it past them. They will try. If you give them ideas, they will try.
The thing you guys don't realize though is that, like, for you guys, Kendall's your friend from back in the day and from school and things. But for me, I sort of know him like that, sort of. But I know him from this channel
It's so
where
cute.
he's
little fangirling
No,
Justin.
I'm not fucking fuck off. Jesus Christ. I just mean that, like, for some people who are seeing Kendall in a different light, they're probably like, hey, this dude is like, big in the YouTube world of D&D and such. So they might not really know.
Oh, that's
much.
fair. Like, I'm making fun of Justin, but Kendall,
I know.
like
You're a dick.
your performance, yeah, because that's fun. But Kendall, your performance in every episode, like,
It's
from
amazing.
day
And
one.
you look at it and it's actually like really well produced. They're short and sweet and they are very funny and the locations look great. And I try and like picture where those locations are and I'm like, I don't know where those set of stairs are or where those
Some of them
like,
I have
woods could
recognized,
be.
Yeah, some
like
I've
of the
definitely
beach shops
noticed.
I know just,
but
yeah.
but I totally get where you're coming from, Justin, because there's also other scenes where you could almost be mistaken for thinking that they've green screened with, an actual better environment or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that. But
Look,
And I think the quality of the camera also like makes
Oh.
like, regular shitty
Yeah.
woods make it they look
It's
like
a little bit
amazing
better
woods in
than-
New Zealand, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, not to distract from me, but I have to. But like, we do have our cinematographer Goldie, who got like a silver award from the ACS for Bardic Inspiration. Like,
yeah, the cinematography in that was brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah, it
she
was so good.
did an amazing job, and she's probably been like the backbone of the show for a long time. Similar to like Ned doing all the music, doesn't get a lot of the time. Like, Goldie's doing all of the camera work except for like some B cam thing and like all of the lighting. And it only changes, say, in like season 3 when we had a budget and could afford like gaffers to come on. In which case she was like, "Do this," and then sat back going, This is fun. But still operated it and came up with all the sets herself. And I do think that's one of the best things about it is like a lot of the best YouTube channels don't have that level of production quality behind it. Not that I'm ragging on them. And I say they're some of the best. It's like one of the big appeals of YouTube a lot of the time is that you're seeing like other very meek people, other relatable people that could be your friend from down at the pub just doing stuff. So you get used to seeing things that are like, you know, thrown together because you're there because you kind of feel like you're friends with the creators or whoever runs the channel. And that's like one of the big appeals. So it was something a little different with One for All to actually say, we're not going to do it that way. That is the usual way people seem to be doing YouTube. If you look at other channels that are very big in this sort of realm, but they're like, we want the camera work to be very good. We want the costumes to be as good as possible. And you mentioned locations, like if they're watching this, I'm not sure if they will, but they would be happy to hear that you noticed the locations because I know they spend so much time. They've probably looked at most possible fantasy locations in 500 Ks of Sydney.
Yeah.
Just to be like, and even if we haven't used them yet, there's like reference photos for them with like ideas of we could use this for the future.
There's even that set of stairs where you're leading up to that, I think it's the King's Garden or the Queen's Garden, I can't remember.
Episode 2,
Yes,
the
King.
stealth? Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
King.
the stealth. You know,
King Gerald with a
look
J.
at that and it's
Yep.
like, man, this looks like a castle out of England or something, you know, like something ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
it
that
doesn't look
was
like the architecture you would find in Australia at all, sort of thing. So
that is a very interesting park in I forgot where.
Oh, wow.
Sorry,
glad
but
we brought Kendall on.
Insert it as the editing human being here.
it was like 2 or
When-
3 years ago.
Kendall gets back to me with it. I'll put it in this episode right
Am I
now.
allowed am I allowed? No, that wasn't fun. I just can't remember the name of it, but it's a really cool park. You have to pay for entry. But it's like you go to that
Is
bit.
that why you couldn't get in? In the episode?
No, it's why I'm
it wasn't even meant to be
Oh,
the episode.
God.
They were just trying to get into the park.
No, we had this whole idea planned for like being inside King Gerald's garden. They're like, you're not coming in. It's $20 entry. We're like, $20? We can't afford that. So we rewrote it on this spot.
It's just the behind the scenes that they just put
Pretty
proper
much,
credits
yeah.
on. It's flawless.
Also, I had so many people from the LARP community hating on me because I did the one-handed spin with the
Yeah.
halberd, and I accidentally called it a spear in like the behind-the-scenes thing. So everyone's always like, "You weapons
Not just
noob!
that,
You
I
can't
noticed
do that with one hand, and it's not a spear; it's a halberd." It's like,
I also noticed that you use the same shot of it like every time with the flip.
oh yeah, we only got like one good take of it.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised you got shit on for that one, but it
I think
was
we break it.
fantastic.
I get chosen for a lot of things. I'm here for it. I'm in the comments a lot. Like Jace knows me. We used to get coffees and just try to insult each other as good as we could.
Yeah.
So like, I'm here for it as long as it doesn't cross, certain, political social boundaries.
Oh,
but
you're
I'm
such
usually,
a Sydney activist.
but I'm in the comments. If I see a good burn against me, I am going against it.
Yeah,
That's
I think
great.
I've ragged on you a few times in the comments, and I think you've hit back.
Yeah, I think I have been absolutely destroyed once. Like, someone said, like, there was an episode I wasn't in that much, and someone's like, "Oh, bargain bin Matthew Mercer isn't in this episode,"
Oh!
Shit.
and
Wow.
I just replied saying, I just replied saying, maybe he's his own person with his own feelings, and they replied, "You get the feelings from the bargain bin as well,"
Oh my god.
and I was just like,
Jeez.
I'm done. And then, someone on Instagram or Facebook or someone was like, send a picture of me and it just says, when you order Critical Role from Wish.
I love the Wish comparisons, but that makes me a little sad.
It was like, it's like, that's what I mean. It's like, it wasn't too personal. It wasn't derogatory. It was just a solid burn. And
It
I
works
was
so well.
I was there for it. I like it.
Thin,
Credit to them people.
white guy, medium length hair.
Mm.
It's flawless. The comparison. It's
yeah,
great.
DM and D&D. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's so good.
If I had any sort of hair, they'd probably be like the same thing. They'd be like, actually, they'd probably compare if I was ever.
You're probably a Chris Perkins type, maybe.
Yeah, I was exactly going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bald D&D guy. Oh, Chris Perkins. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, cool.
I mean, can I ask you guys questions or what?
Go for it,
Oh
man.
yeah,
If
go
you've
for
got
it,
something.
man. Yeah. That's actually probably a good idea. Like, yeah, I was
Actually, yeah. Speaking of burns, Jace, you do a lot of insults and stuff on Twitch. Have you had any?
He's
have
so
you had
fucking ready.
Had any gems come back your way, or any
Oh,
gems
okay,
you've
okay.
delivered?
So one of my
We
favorite
posted
ones.
this recently, though.
One of my favorite ones that I've ever gotten was when I had like long shoulder length hair. I dyed it blonde, and someone commented saying that I was the love child of Post Malone and Machine Gun Kelly. I was like,
Oh.
fuck me. That's hands down like my favorite. I live for that one.
Rough.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. How about you, Brady? Have you ever had any good ones come your way?
No, I mostly cop shit.
Yeah.
Because I mostly do fitness related content. Like I do the otaku thing, but I don't do as much as I wish I did. It's pretty much a flooded field at this stage. But the fitness related stuff is pretty good. I usually cop a bunch of shit about how I'm not as big as I should be. Even though that kind of goes against, it's not quite as funny as it should be. I think the funniest I've had is like, you should practice what you preach. And I was like, wait, when did I preach being a bodybuilder? Because that's what? But, no, I haven't had any particularly funny ones, unfortunately. I'm sure they're coming. Yeah, I'm waiting for them. I think Jace gives me the funniest fucking calls.
I don't even know what I say. I just say whatever the hell comes to mind.
Yeah.
That's fine.
How about you, Justin?
I have no presence whatsoever. I'm just.
I was gonna say he has no online presence yet.
Not even online. Just if you guys are in the Highlands, I assume you get stuff shouted out the window of cars to you all the
time. I think
Justin lives across the road from the church.
When I was in kindergarten, I used to have a rat's tail. They gave me shit about that. That's about it.
That's fair.
About it. Yeah. No, man, I got nothing. No.
Speaking of the Highlands, I actually once had someone throw a bottle out the window of a car at me.
Me too.
Damn.
What the hell?
I was just walking down the street, and it's just like, look. So it's like bottle, and then speed up. It's like,
what?
Yeah.
Sorry?
The roundabout near Woolworths in Barrel. Someone threw a bottle out of a car. It hit me and then smashed on the ground. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, mine was next
bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was a V bottle. It hit like pretty close to me. It was next to Corba Gardens. It was just
damn, dude.
Yeah, just
Barrel's
lads in
a wild
cars.
place.
Yeah.
I never had that.
Sounds like we're in the ghetto.
I had the opposite, actually. So
You've thrown bottles at people.
He's the one that's throwing the bottles.
Yeah.
Brady!
I was like, fucking Jace. No. When I moved to the Gold Coast with an ex-member of ours, actually.
An ex-member? You're talking about
Basement
bands?
Discourse.
Band
This from episode
related
0.
member.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I was like, first night, and I had hair like there-ish, and on the Gold Coast, not the thing.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Didn't
Surfy
fit
culture
in.
should have.
You goddamn hippie.
Yeah, there's a difference between surfy culture, long bleach blonde or sun bleached hair, and what I was. Yeah, so I was like walking along the street on my first night, and someone threw a ball at me as well. So at least we have a mutual bonding experience of being fucking bottled while walking along the street, paying no attention to shit.
Yeah, literally just walking in a straight line, and someone's like, "You need a bottle thrown at you." I've decided.
You're welcome to
Pretty
straight
wild.
boy.
Look at that boy's head. He needs a bottle to hit it.
And then there's Justin, who like reflects the light that no one's thrown shit at.
Yeah, but
He
I
just-
wasn't bold
probably
that
it.
long. That's the thing.
You just
D&D
solar
and
flare
Bold
them.
was the same time. Yeah. Oh, the light. They probably have thrown bottles. It's just like they're like, I can't see.
The car crashes into the gutter.
Smashes
next to
over
him.
it near Kendall, and Kendall's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm still in quarantine, and this V bottle just goes like smashes on my window. Like, okay.
Like, you know what
Just
you
like the
need for
guitar
COVID?
before.
Energy drinks.
Oh, and then there was that guy in the islands who just kept eggs in his car all the time, and it was just like if you were going past, you'd just be like egg. It's just like
Dick.
people just got
Friend
so
of
bored.
yours?
No,
Yeah.
no, not friend at all. Wanted to egg me, threw eggs lots of times. Like,
Yeah, I've never heard of this bloke, but okay.
Me either. I've lived here most of my life, but sure.
they may have gone to
Clearly he
jail
knows
for a bit.
Kendall.
Yeah, he just knows
Might be
Kendall. He's just
Nick,
after Kendall.
Kendall.
That's it.
Relation.
No, it's. I bet people know. I bet. If
People
you
are
know,
like,
if
oh,
you know,
that's the
you
one
know.
for all
Circle.
guy. Eggs.
Yeah.
I've got eggs in my car just for this situation.
Yeah, it's because that motherfucker spun the halberd the wrong way.
Yeah.
That one guy. You spin a
Guy-
fucking
is that
halberd
the-
the wrong way.
Is that the guy who called a halberd a spear? Oh, let's get him.
Damn LARP nerds.
Yep, there goes that audience.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Seers.
Put your foam swords away.
You got anything else for us, Kendall?
Yeah.
Tell us.
You guys,
This is
you
what
guys-
improv does.
do you guys like movies? I don't know. What are we talking?
Apparently,
of movies-
Jace doesn't. No.
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 What do you think of Free Guy?
No.
Oh god. This is gonna be a thing for every guest. I swear to God. Free guy. What do
No,
you think?
but I know
Kendall?
Kendall agrees with me. But at a
Ah.
Then
different
he's
level.
not allowed.
This is like the idea of dangling the dead animal in front of someone. Like, we can't keep doing this to everyone. Kendall, you better fucking
Oh my
hate Free
God!
Guy.
I think you mean beating a dead horse, but sure.
Yeah.
No, it was a reference
not
to
for the-
the previous
and not for the-
conversation, but sure.
Not for the usual reasons. I wasn't a big fan of the movie.
Yes!
It's
That's all I needed. That's the whole reason we brought you on.
fine.
My
Like,
validation.
it's
Our
good.
reason,
I see why other people like it. It wasn't for me. I don't know enough about computers, but while I was watching it, I was like, I feel like something's up with the tech talk in this. So when I heard Jace's rant, I was like, I feel a little validated.
Hmm.
A little, but yeah, it's
Like, I will say, like I said in the episode that you probably haven't seen yet, when you see the whole movie, it's not as bad. Still not amazing, but yeah. Anyway, I will leave it there with Free Guy.
Oh,
I just wanted
hang
to
on.
bring in.
So you remember that time in that episode where you ranted, where both Justin and I were like, watch the whole movie?
Yeah, it's because there were more funny bits, but the tech didn't get better. And
I will
said
say
that.
though, I'll say Taika Waititi though, amazing in that role. Like, pretty much saved it for me. Like, even though he's the one you're supposed to hate and stuff, I'm like, I wouldn't mind if this guy wins. It's fun.
Yeah,
He's
pretty
supposed to be the arsehole. I'm like, I like him. He's fine.
Yeah, brilliant character.
Wow.
Well, I think that just about sums up our our night. We've talked about the Free Guy, so that's the most important part for Jace.
Yep.
We've talked about everything that you're up to, Kendall, future and past. We've talked about the past with you guys knowing each other. What else? Discuss music.
Bottles.
DD, of course.
Yep.
I think it's been a good ad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kendall, for coming on the show. I'm
Sorry.
sure it won't be the last time, or hopefully it won't be. It's
Well-
probably the last episode now, but
Yeah.
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 No,
We'll have to
it's
start
like,
a new channel. We'll bring you on for that one.
yeah,
Yeah, thank-
whatever that happens to be.
thanks for
Yeah, once-
having me on, and sorry for getting you cancelled.
It's all good, man.
It was good.
I don't
while it
think you
lasted.
did too bad. Justin still hasn't mentioned how people can find us.
I was gonna just pass that quote over to you, Brady, so you can.
At Deerstalker Pictures, go to Deerstalker Pictures at YouTube. Hit the bell icon, like and subscribe, and go to the Patreon for more goodies. Sorry.
No.
Great.
I was gonna say,
Well, at
in
least we
fairness, I was gonna
sponsor
give you
that.
the moment to do that, and then you just fucking stole it anyway.
Sorry,
that's
it's second nature for me now. Like at the moment, I'm contractually
I like
obliged.
it.
I have to do
We
it.
didn't do it
Nice.
for like 2 episodes.
That's the basement discourse way though, is everyone just has to butt in and just bullshit all their shit straight
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
Or else
yeah,
you just
for
don't get
sure.
a chance. You just gotta be like, I'm the loudest motherfucker.
and that's our swearing quota filled for the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, you do it good enough. I'll consider sharing it on one of my socials. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Swear good enough? Or
Yeah, we'll see
I
how
mean,
good the outro is. Like if it's
I
an
don't think we
okay
dropped
outro.
enough C-bombs, but you guys can find us on YouTube. Please subscribe to Basement Discourse. That's probably where you're watching this anyway. But if you're an audio-only listener, good lord, that came out wrong. But we are on Apple Podcasts, both, and Spotify. You can find us on Discord. Links are in the description. We're on Twitter and Instagram. And I think that just about rounds us up.
Kendall also has socials that he would probably plug.
Yeah, I would have given him the chance, but he stole it earlier. Kendall, what have you got for us, man? It'll be in the description anyway. What have you got?
Twitter and Instagram at Kendall the Human, although the alternative handle on Twitter is at Kendall's Dumb.
Both
Kendall's
are appropriate.
what?
Kendall's Dumb.
I heard you drop that on an app.
Like Kendall is, but like with the apostrophe. Kendall's Dumb.
Brady's
Right.
not good with English.
I can't say it in Japanese.
I said
I
in full
couldn't-
Japanese. Kendall Dharma.
There we go. We're cancelled again.
Nailed it. Nailed
Racial
it.
stereotypes, man.
I was just sitting there trying to think of how to Kendall in katakana, and I was like, it's probably Kendall.
Probably.
Kendall.
Alrighty. So
Is that
clapped-
it? Are we
think that's
done for
an
the
episode,
episode?
right? Yeah.
Justin,
clapped,
you have to
so-
say end.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for tuning in for episode 6. Thanks to Kendall for coming on board. This will be our last episode ever. And it was great to have you all.
It seriously isn't, guys.
No, we'll be back next week.
Tune in next week, or will you?
Dun, dun, dun.
Great, that's probably licensed. Thanks.